Hello and welcome to this episode of Juras6x's World. My name's Juras6x and this is my world so far. Anyway, so in the last episode we did a lot of finishing off tasks, finished the silo behind us, got our XP farm, and overall it was a very good episode for us in terms of getting things done. So for today's episode we have got a few tasks at hand. So we are looking to build our windmill, which is over there in the distance, looking ugly. Let's just say ugly at the moment. That's where our iron farm is, and also we need to make our iron farm toggleable so that we can turn it off once we've got enough iron. I do think that may happen. The only reason we're out of iron is because of our grain silo. So the windmill that we're going to be building is based off of an idea by Nick, N11CK, so we'll put that in the description down below so you can see, compare, say what you like, what you don't like, but let's get on with the episode. So as you may be able to tell from Nick's video, we have a very similar footprint. Issue is looking at the where our iron farm villager section is. It is a bit bigger than what Nick has for his sort of tool mid bit of the building. So gonna try and do a few things here, see how they turn out, and once we've tried that, then we'll decide whether we make this lower part slightly bigger, or what we do. So let's start putting some blocks in, and then we'll come back shortly once we have a bit of a better idea about how we're going to do it. So it's been a bit longer than I thought. One of the big issues was our villager breeder was offset and built in the wrong place. So I've moved the whole of this bottom part over one, which means we most likely will need to redo our Iron Golem Farm, which is a little, sorry, not the Iron Golem, but the item sorter, which is a bit annoying, but nevertheless it's where we're at. I've also just come back from a second run to get some clay. Didn't quite realise how rare that item or that block was, so needed to get some more. And looking at this, I think what we need to do is, this top bit looks very thin compared to this lower bit, so I'll probably take the first section up one more block, and then this next section up, and probably actually put another 3 levels or so on it, so that we can fit the blades of the windmill on and make it look a little bit taller rather than being this squat chunky base. So that's where we're at now. Got some clay in the furnaces, being fired up into terracotta, and then we'll change that to white stained. So let's get on with that, and we'll be back in a moment. So we have all of the white terracotta now in all faces. We've also got the spruce logs going up the side, so I think I'm pretty happy with the size. I think the roof will end up going straight on top of that. We won't sort of lower it, so that we have enough space for the propeller or shaft for the windmill bit. So I think that's worked out quite well. Obviously still got a lot of detailing to go in, but I think I'm gonna put the roof on. I'm gonna put a wooden and stone roof on, I think, just to bricks. Not a big fan, or not for this, so I'll stick with the wood and the stone style. May even decide to put an extra ring of stone bricks round, so we have, or can take in area where we did have the item sorter, or where we still got the item sorter, because at the moment sticking out the back a little bit. But let's get on that, and then we can take a look and see what we think of the detailing. So this is where we are at the moment. I've done two different designs for the lower part of the tower. So as you can see, we've got a flatter one, or we've got a more arch one, and I'm definitely leaning more towards this, maybe putting in a couple more slabs just to sort of extend it out, so this spruce log doesn't just sort of enter into this gap here. But quite happy with that. I think what I'll also do is I'll extend the cobble wall up another two, just to give it a bit more definition, and then this lower part we will extend out, so the decking on the top will come out by one, and then also the stone bricks. Started doing a bit of texturing on this side just to sort of break it up, but I think now I've had another look at it, we'll just enlarge the whole of the base so that it looks a bit more substantial, and we'll be able to hold the tower, because at the moment I think it just looks a little too thin and almost too sort of straight up. So that's what we'll do, and we'll do that now and come back in just a bit. So we've now done a bit more designing, and very happy with how this is looking now. We've got the dark oak fences around the top here. Looks like the decking's being supported, maybe we'll put in a little bit more, and I love the texturing of the walls. And then this all seems to look really nice, sort of well balanced. So I think we can probably fit in 2 or 3 sets of windows on sort of these sides. I'll leave this side blank where the blades are going to go of the windmill. But what you can't see is I've done nothing on the other side, so we're going to have to repeat all of this all the way around. So that's the next challenge, or next task, is to build that all around, and then we can start putting in more detail as we go up. The details are now filled in on Windmill at the lower area, so now we can start thinking about putting windows in, roof, and the propeller bits. So looking pretty good, pretty happy with this. The other thing we need to consider is where iron golems potentially could spawn. So that's also taking another factor. I'm going to get the Iron Golem Farm back up and running, so we can just see if any of the iron golems are spawning places that we weren't expecting. So that will be for the next clip, so let's get on with that. We now have our propeller shaft in. I think I'm going to move it down at least 1, maybe possibly 2, just to make the proportions a bit better. I'm going to have a look from over there. Also means we can get in a couple of windows up here. We've got a door in here so we can look at our villager spawner, and we also have the Iron Golem Farm up and running again. So that's good, but we had a complete redesign of how things work. So this is where they spawn. So instead of them all going into sort of a trough down this side, they now spawn and drop in the middle, and I think the spawn rates will be better. It's also a slightly bigger diameter, or bigger spawning area, so hopefully the rates will be a little bit better. And then when we come into here, we actually get to visually watch them die, and then we have the hoppers which take away the iron. So somewhere under here we have a filter to take away the poppies, and then in here we will just have the iron as it comes up the dropper elevator. So all working very well there. This area looks a bit bland at the moment, but I'm sure we can add some detail. But this is all working fantastically. And then because the iron farm's here, we've got these steps going up here, and we can actually toggle the hoppers, or lock the hoppers, so we can turn it on and off as we please. And then this door here will allow us to just pop in here, have a look. I think we'll probably run it up so that we can get on top, and then also so we can get into this area of the windmill. So gonna go and take a look from another viewpoint of our propeller shaft, move it accordingly, put in the windows, and then we'll start to put on the vanes of the windmill. So all looking good and very happy with this so far. We have now finally finished our windmill. Very happy with how it's come out. We've got a little issue, but that's not to do with how it looks. Unfortunately, we had a villager try and run away, and unfortunately fell into our lava for our iron golem. So we've got to replace our iron golem, our villager, as it allows iron golem to spawn within the chamber the villagers live within. But anyway, onwards and upwards, we have our windmill, which looks, in my opinion, fantastic. And we've also built our path, which will come around and come back into this end of town. We've got a little pond there with a tree, and then this bit over here will be turned into farmland, but not going to get to that today. I'm gonna save that for another time, or when I'm just editing videos or something like that. So this is taking a bit longer than anticipated. Didn't help having to move a lot of things and redo, but I'm so happy with this, and I hope that you think it looks good too. Also landscaped a lot of this hill area. What I want to do is give the impression of rolling hills, so still got a bit of work here. So it's trying to clear out those sort of solid blocks of mud, but otherwise I think we can say this is done and we can tick it off. So the next episode we will be going into the end. I'm bored of moving my chest from side to side or to site to site, so we're going to go to the end. We're going to defeat the Ender Dragon, and we're also going to get so elytra and shulker boxes, because I need lots and lots and lots of shulker boxes. I've got this chest monster down here behind me, and every time I do a project I end up moving half of it to wherever it may be, and then I have to move it back again. So bit of a pain. So we're going to resolve that issue once we have been to the end in the next episode. So my name's Juras6x. This is my world. It's looking fantastic so far, considering, and I hope you join me on the next episode of Juras6x World.